Some people think AI is all hype, right? It's all a big hype. It's a big bubble that's going to burst, just like, the internet bubble burst, but we're still on the internet. And I think it's fair because it is a hype. Let's not pretend it's not. At the same time, there is a reason it's a hype. And if it hasn't worked for you because you've invested money in something and it hasn't paid off yet, then I get that, and I'm not going to argue because the numbers don't lie. 95% of projects aren't profitable within or don't yield a positive return on investment, right? And that's not in the first 3 months, and it's not even in 12 months. It's just that's just what the numbers say. Like for those 5%, yes, there's a return on investment. So there's a good chance that you have that idea. But I like this term. This reminds me of my time in the UK. The proof is in the pudding, because you've got to test it yourself, right? Like when we talk about AI agents and automation, you might think to yourself, it is a hype. Like what? Agents working 24/7 doing what? Like doing what? But why don't you test today? Spend 10 minutes on a repetitive task that your team is doing, right? There has to be marketing, there has to be sales. Otherwise, probably there's no business, right? So what's happening in sales? Are people following up? Are people trying to put a meeting in the calendar? Is there a personal assistant? Is there like some kind of an automated tool, but you still have to check the calendar? You still have to see if people are actually going to join. And there's X amount percent that shows up, and there's X amount of percentage. Like we all have gone through those steps, right? We all have. And that could be a good example. It can also be marketing. There's never enough content. You batch the content, and before you know it, it's gone, right? That takes time. Like if you pick one, just one, so not to make it hypothetical, just pick one, write it down. Like how much time does it cost? And not necessarily the time that you spend on like an agency. Like we spend X amount for that agency to do X, Y, Z. Like what's happening currently in-house that you say like my people, my most valuable assets are assets. My most valuable people. I mean, it's an asset, but you know what I mean. I don't want to dehumanize employees. But these are the most valuable assets, right? According to Jim Collins, from Good to Great, the right people on the bus. And where do you want to take them? But obviously you need to have a clear goal, and you also need to have clear tasks. So how much time is that taking? And how much time are they spending on repetitive tasks that could easily be replaced, right? But right now it's just manual labor, and we just accept that that's just part of the job. Well, this is one I mentioned earlier. This is one that everyone has, so this is a good one to pick. It just takes time to knock this down, and all companies have this, right? Like imagine the amount of time that it's actually already taking and already costing. So not external billing. This is the money that you already pay as a business owner, or as, your team, your company, what you pay to just keep the business running. And when you do this and you count it for a specific time, right? So you pick a month and you say, okay, we spend X amount of time per week on this. Let's say in total, 2 hours a person. We have a sales team of, okay, let's say it's a big company, relatively 8 people. That is already 16 hours. If you calculate that per week, you do it times 4, you have a certain amount. You're like, okay, that's a pretty significant amount, because it probably will be, right? And this is something that you're already paying for, right? It's not like it's free. It's also not like it's something you have to spend. You're basically paying probably your most valuable people sometimes to do the most simple work, because it's just part of the job. Now, if you have those two buckets, right? So you have the money per week and then times 4, right? How much that is, like that's a pretty massive amount. And then you would look at the price, how much you would spend on AI to automate that, right? If you have an AI agent in Cloud Console, or whatever tool you use. But cloud is like golden standard. And it runs not just basically, but it runs exactly, and it does exactly what you want it to do. Like those two numbers, they're not close, right? Because especially if you build it once, like once you've built it, right, then it continues. Like imagine it costs you 10K to build an automation, right? It's built, but because of that, you make up 15K in that month alone. Every month after that, you're basically in the black, right? You're in the green. Like you already recouped it really quickly. And this is the thing I want you to hear, as a business leader, that goes straight to the bottom line, right? And a lot of times, when I'm having conversation with clients, and I hear this, across communities as well, as part of the AIS community, is that when people are talking to businesses, it's like, yeah, but I don't want to spend X amount. But it's kind of a blind spot that, okay, you're losing money already. Like it's a leaky bucket. By not spending this, you're definitely missing out on that today already, right? Like you missed one appointment because you didn't follow up fast enough, and that might be 2K. But if that happens 5 times a week, that's 10K a week. Like that, let's say that's 40 plus K a month. Like just a random number, but imagine then that 10K investment is a no-brainer, right? And I think that is really kind of a mindset shift. So like I said, it goes straight to the bottom line. And obviously, at the end of the day, it's about the money, right? How much money can you make? Like nobody ever asked for AI. I'm taking that from Amy Simpson, an amazing creative director who also leverages the power of AI. So I would say, I challenge you, do it today. If you don't have time, do it tonight. 5 to 10 minutes. Just, ask ChatGPT or whatever. Put in the hours, calculate this for me, cloud code, how much is it going to cost me? And then how much am I actually losing already, right? That's often for a lot of people an eye-opener. So I'm Rich Loen, the founder of Torque. We help marketing and sales teams do more with AI. If you're still here, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.